Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
Girl, put the kettle on. Actually, forget the tea, pour the wine. You are not going to believe the absolute nightmare I have been living through with this bathroom situation. You know how excited I was about finally getting that new toilet installed. The sleek one I picked out. I thought I was being a responsible homeowner, hiring professionals to handle the plumbing. Professionals? What a joke. So I hired this local plumbing company here in Washington. They had decent reviews, or at least they didn't look like total scams on the surface. Big mistake. Huge. The day of the installation, these two technicians show up. And from the moment they walked through the door, the vibe was off. You know that feeling when the air just gets heavy? It was like that. They start working in the bathroom, and I'm just chilling in the living room, trying to give them space. Suddenly, I hear voices raising. And I don't mean, "Hey, pass me the wrench." I mean shouting. They were screaming at each other. In my bathroom. I'm sitting there, freezing, wondering if I need to call the cops or run out the back door. It was aggressive, toxic, masculine rage just bouncing off the tiled walls. I literally felt unsafe in my own home. I was scared to walk down the hallway. Who screams at their coworker like that in front of a client? It was so hostile I finally had to shout from the other room, "Is everything okay in there?" Just to remind them that, hello, I exist, and I can hear you acting like lunatics. After the plumbers started screaming at each other in my bathroom, I had to ask them to leave. I just couldn't take the hostility. Luckily, they had just finished bolting the new toilet down. They packed up their tools, still huffing and puffing at each other, and stormed out. I locked the door behind them and literally slumped against it. I thought, okay, at least it's done. The toilet works. It's over. Oh, honey, if only it was over. So the bill comes. And of course, these cowboys tried to pull a fast one. I'm looking at the invoice, and there are these random fuel surcharges that were never disclosed. Nowhere in the quote, nowhere on the website. Just tacked on because they felt like it. I am not the one. You know I am not the one. I called the office, shaking, by the way, because I was still rattled from the shouting match, and I told them, absolutely not. I disputed the charges. After a lot of back and forth with an office manager who sounded like she chewed glass for breakfast, we negotiated a lower amount. I agreed to pay the invoice minus the bogus fees. Fine. Done. I sent the check. One day. Literally 24 hours after we agreed on the amount and the check was in the mail, I get a notification. They sent me to collections. Can you imagine the audacity? So the plumbers sent me to collections less than 24 hours after I put a check in the mail to them. It was pure spite. The collections matter got closed immediately because, obviously, I had paid, but it just showed me exactly who I was dealing with. The technicians were aggressive, the office was aggressive, the whole company is rotten to the core. But I told myself, breathe, it's done, never call them again. Fast forward a few months. I'm living my life, using my bathroom, thinking everything is fine. Then I'm downstairs and I look up at the ceiling directly below the bathroom. My heart dropped into my stomach. There was a stain, a dark, spreading, wet stain on the ceiling. My brand new toilet installation was leaking sewage water into my ceiling. I did the smart thing and hired a different plumber. Let's call him Dave. Dave comes in, unbolts the toilet, lifts it up, and girl, listen to this, he starts laughing. Not a happy laugh, but a what in the unholy hell is this laugh. He calls me in. Look at this, he says. The first guys, the angry screamers. They had used a faulty wax ring. But not only that. You know those shims they use to level the toilet? They had shoved multiple shims under there, totally destabilizing the seal. It was a hack job. It was plumbing malpractice. So the new plumber, Dave, confirmed my worst fears. The leak was 100% caused by the first company's installation errors. He even put it in writing on his invoice for me. Receipts. I have the receipts. Armed with this evidence, I reached out to the nightmare plumbers. I said, look, your work caused a leak that damaged my home. I had to pay someone else to fix your mess because you people terrified me and sent me to collections. I want a refund for the original installation cost. Do you want to know what they said? First, they blamed me because I supplied the toilet, even though the leak was from their materials and labor, the wax ring and shims. Then they said their warranty is null and void because I hired someone else to fix it. I told them, I didn't call you back because your technicians were hostile and made me feel unsafe. I didn't trust you to enter my home again. But they don't care. They are hiding behind the fine print, so now I'm stuck. I'm out the money for the first installation, the second plumber, and now I have a water-damaged ceiling. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I'm sitting here wondering if I have to take them to small claims court. Is it even worth the stress? I feel like if I walk into a courtroom with Dave's report and tell the judge about the screaming and the collections, surely a judge would see I had no choice, right? What do you think I should do?